Map the competence gap. If you're watching this, chances are you've experienced the gut-wrenching frustration of losing business to competitors who shouldn't even exist. You know your product is better, your service is superior, your team has more experience, yet they're winning deals while you're left wondering what went wrong with the universe. Today, I'm going to show you the first step in what I call the authority displacement protocol, how to map your competitors' competence gaps. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly where your so-called competitors are vulnerable, even when they appear strongest. Here's what you'll learn in the next 6-7 minutes. First, why your competitors' apparent strengths are often their biggest vulnerabilities. Second, the exact framework I use to map these gaps systematically, the same process that helped me identify why flashy cybersecurity startups were beating firms with former NSA analysts. And third, you'll get the specific action steps to create your own competence gap map that will become your competitive roadmap for market domination. The reality check. Let me start with a quote from Sun Tzu that's more relevant to business than most MBA programs admit. Know your enemy and know yourself, and you can fight 100 battles without disaster. But here's my observation. Most executives think they know their competitors because they've looked at their websites and maybe attended the same conferences. That's like thinking you know someone because you've seen their LinkedIn profile photo. You're missing about 95% of what actually matters. So here's a personal story. I learned this lesson the hard way early in my career. Coming from an electronics engineering background with no money to start a business, I believed technical superiority would naturally win in the marketplace. I watched as companies with inferior solutions consistently outperformed technically superior alternatives. It was maddening. The breakthrough came during a project with Lloyds Bank. I noticed their competitors were all talking about invoice discounting, positioning themselves as experts. But when I dug really deeper, I discovered they could talk the talk, but stumbled on the technical questions. They had great marketing messages, but couldn't back them up with substance. This gap became our competitive advantage. And this is where most people make a crucial mistake. They look for obvious weaknesses, bad websites, poor reviews, obvious gaps in service. But competence gaps aren't obvious. They're hidden in plain sight, disguised as marketing messages that sound impressive but crumble under examination. So here's the systematic approach. First, collect everything: their messaging, case studies, team credentials, client testimonials. Don't just skim, dive deep. Look for specific claims about expertise, results, or capabilities. Second, verify their claims. Can they prove what they're saying? Do their case studies include actual metrics or just vague success stories? Are their team credentials real and relevant? Do their client testimonials mention specific outcomes or just general satisfaction? Third, identify the perception gaps. Where does their marketing message exceed their actual capability? Where are they making claims they can't substantiate? This becomes your competitive intelligence goldmine. I often tell clients that competitor analysis is like online dating. People present their best selves up front, but the real truth comes out when you ask specific questions. Your competitors are putting their best foot forward in their marketing, but can they actually walk the walk when prospects dig deeper? This mapping isn't an academic exercise, it's intelligence. When you understand exactly where competitors appear strong but are actually weak, you can position yourself to highlight those gaps without appearing to attack them directly. You're not competing on their terms anymore. You're changing the game entirely. The companies that do this well don't just win more business, they redefine what winning looks like in their industry, while competitors scramble to keep up. You're already setting the new standards. Now, this competence gap mapping is just the first step in the complete authority displacement protocol. The remaining 4 steps build on this foundation to systematically eliminate inferior competitors from consideration. If you want the complete system, including the detailed templates, 47-point evaluation, checklists, and week-by-week implementation guide I use with clients, paying thousands for this strategy, you can access it all through my Substack newsletter. Take a trial subscription and get immediate access to the complete 90-day authority displacement execution plan. The link is in the description below. Don't let inferior competitors continue stealing your market share while you're trying to figure this out alone. Remember, your competitors aren't hoping you'll discover their competence gaps. They're counting on you not looking hard enough to find them. In the next video, we'll cover step 2, how to claim the high ground by positioning yourself as the category definer, not just another participant. Until then, start mapping those gaps. Your future market dominance depends on it.